Hello, we're back with the Painscreek killings. We got some codes. I did some sleuthing. We got some codes. So the first thing we're gonna do is go back to the sheriff's. What do you want, doggy? To the sheriff's office. There's a lot to this game. This is like advanced clue. Okay. So we come here, we go here. And it's okay, the crack in Vivian Roberts' skull shows that the weapon used is an object with a heavy and sharp end. Something like an axe would fit the description. To cause a crack that big, the attacker must be rather strong. I'm assuming it's either a man or a strong woman who's experienced in the use of the weapon. The victim must have been facing the attacker because of the lacerations found on the front of her torso, as well as the back side of both forearms, showing that she tried to block the attacks by holding up her arms. The fatal strike landed on her right side of the victim's head, just above her right eyebrows. This clarifies the following. 1. The victim was facing the killer. 2. The killer is strong enough to land such a clean but deadly blow. And 3. The killer is left-handed. Since the murder weapon was never recovered and confirmed, my assumption of it being an axe still remains. Since this is me doing you a solid, do not under any circumstances leak this information or I'll be in big trouble. The guys here in the Grand City don't want anyone more than necessary to know about these details. Interview to Charles Roberts. I wasn't here when my wife was killed. I left for New York July 18th to attend a conference meeting that was supposed to last for 3 days. I was supposed to be back on the weekend. On the morning of July 20th, however, I received a phone call from our butler, Bernard, informing me that Vivian had been murdered. I could not believe what I heard. I cut short my trip and immediately came back to Painscreek. There was an annual religious gathering event in Hartford where pastors from different churches in our state's vicinity meet and discuss what we can do to help our society. The event started on July 18th and ran for 5 days, so it ended on July 23rd. I represent Painscreek Trinity Church at the event. Our church can confirm this because we had to cancel our Sunday service that week. Interview Bernard Hopkins. I was preparing for the fundraising event when I felt sick. However, there was no one who can really do my job, so I kept working. At about 9 in the evening, I was too sick to continue, so I bid Vivian goodnight and headed back home. Dorothy saw me leave. No, there's no one else that lives there. I live alone. Interview with Dorothy. Bernard was not feeling well that day, so he left slightly earlier than usual. However, he finished his work before he left. When I saw how sick he appeared, I wondered how he could have kept on working. Well, I guess that's why the Roberts family trusts him so much. Me, I was around the mansion most of the time, either preparing the food or making sure that the other maids were doing their jobs. The fundraising event, which was to be held the following day, was important to Vivian, so we were all making sure that everything would be perfect. By the time Mary left, it was already past midnight. I locked the doors and then went home myself. Interview with Mary. My name is Mary Martins. I have been working in the kitchen for the past few days for an upcoming fundraising event. Jimmy's Bakery was supposed to deliver the cakes, but a few days before the event they called to inform us that they can't make it. Suddenly I was in charge of cakes. I was so mad because we didn't have much time and this event was supposed to be extremely crucial for Vivian's business. But after hearing that Vivian was murdered, all my anger and work just sort of became irrelevant. Interview with Derek. I remember dropping Mr. Roberts off at the airport on July 18th at around 2 p.m. I was supposed to come back after that drive around for Vivian, but she told me to take a break since I haven't had a day off for quite some time. I decided to visit a friend of mine who was moving upstate to West Dakota. What sort of friend? An elementary school buddy that used to live here, but moved when he received a scholarship. I stayed at his place for a few days before coming back to Painscreek. Yes, he can vouch for me. I have his number at home. I can give it to you later. Derek never gave me the number. We have a car key. Cool, we got a car key. I also really need to learn how to use the camera. Okay. I don't know what car the key works on. We're gonna try this one over here. Nope. We gotta go back to the hospital. Arthas, we don't need to hear it. We don't need to hear it. So let's run back to the hospital because I have a code for Catherine's locker. So I gotta take a picture of this, but I don't know how to use the camera. So someone obviously fell. That's one if they were a jumper or a pusher. But I don't know how to use the camera. I can't take pictures. Alright, there's the station. Fun. Alright, hers was 60. Oh, jeez. Norma Jefferson was admitted to PCH at 10:24 a.m. Her son found her on the side of the bed and immediately called us. We tried to reach Dr. Johnson, but was not able to. After the third try, we gave up and called Dr. Schneider, who was not supposed to be on duty. It's the third time that we failed to reach Dr. Johnson. He's never been unreachable this many times before. Susan has been sick 3 days in a row, with Catherine calling in sick at the last moment. Tonight's staff will be extremely short-handed. I have agreed to do double shifts this weekend. It's unfortunate that 8-year-old Timothy Scott drowned. Wow. So 8-year-old Timothy Scott drowned. Rumor was that he was trying to retrieve his toy and lost his grip. He was alone while everyone else were playing in the playground. His body was found 3 hours later in the river near the hunting cabin. I was at the end of the hallway when I saw a young lady standing outside Dr. Johnson's office. It was 11:15 p.m. and the visiting hours were over. I called out to her. She turned to me and promptly walked away. I couldn't be exactly sure, but I thought she looked drenched. I looked out of the window. It wasn't raining. Ghost girl. Okay. Is this locked? Yeah. I need to find a way to get in Scott's cabin. Okay, so the hospital has this missing tool, so we can look for that later. For now, we need to... What's this? Oh, well... It seems pretty well boarded up. Okay, I can't go in there. Let's go back to the church. Since he used to live at the church, maybe there's something in the church. Oh, there's another car. Let's see if this key fits the car. Nope. Maybe it's this car. I know there wasn't too many cars around town. Doesn't work on that one either. Okay. Whoa, what happened? Why can't we walk up the stairs? are glitched out. Alright, hang on. Let's try to... restart it. There we go. Okay, I think I have a code for this. 1, 2. Nope. 2, 4, and 2. Why, there is nothing in there. Is the code the same for both of them? Ooh. Dear Father Calvin, this is a letter about the things I have witnessed during my stay in Painscreek while in service to Magdalene Roberts, Mrs. Magdalene Roberts. I have no one to confide in, and I dare not speak to you in public, hence this letter. I accompanied Mrs. Roberts to Painscreek on July 4th of 1957 to visit her son Charles. It was rumored that Vivian had a nervous breakdown following her own delivery of Tricia, that she had to stay in PCH for rehabilitation for several months. During that time period, Charles was all alone. He found comfort in a house maid by the name of Sophia. Sophia was a maid, okay. They had an affair. A boy was born. Oh, the plot thickens. 2 days after arriving, we were informed that Sophia, along with her child, had left Painscreek. Where she could have gone off to was a mystery for all of us. I assume most of us believed in the story, including myself, however. Mrs. Roberts refused to believe that Sophia would leave when she would have been accepted into the Roberts family. The boy that she bore for Charles would have guaranteed that Mrs. Roberts initiated a search for Sophia with our driver, Patrick, and myself. It lasted less than 2 months before she passed. What I want to confess in this letter is not about Sophia. Although I was initiated by her disappearance, it's about Mrs. Roberts' untimely death. You see, Mrs. Roberts had a heart condition, and it had been affecting her for a while. However, her medication had always kept her stable. Her prescription was still the same during her visit to Painscreek, yet her condition deteriorated. The family doctor, Henry Johnson, confirmed that her search for Sophia had taken a toll on her health. All she needed was to rest as much as she could, and she would be fine. I know that despite the doctor's advice, Mrs. Roberts did not stop the search. Did that create stress on her? Yes. But should it have killed her? According to the physician attending to Mrs. Roberts back home? No. Definitely not within such a short time span, if she had taken her medication. Her body was never autopsied. Her son Charles wanted her body untouched and buried properly. As Patrick and I were packing to leave for home, I couldn't help but wonder who could have wanted Mrs. Roberts dead. Is there a connection between the affair of Charles and the housemaid, the disappearance of Sophia and her child, and the death of Mrs. Roberts? I would like to say whom I might suspect, yet
okay.
I am...
I found this on the web for is there a connection between the affair of Charles and the housemaid?
Siri just tried to look up a housemaid for me. I would like to say whom I might suspect, yet I am in no such position, and I'm afraid that I might name the wrong person. As I write this letter, I hope you can understand what I am trying to convey. I pray that the truth will be revealed as God permits it. Sincerely, Sylvia Eden. Well, Sylvia, that was insightful. Scott Brooks pleads not guilty to killing ex-mayor's wife, Vivian Roberts. May murder suspect denies killing former employer. Scott Brooks, the adopted son of Father Matthew Brooks of Painscreek Trinity Church, pled not guilty in court yesterday. According to Scott, he met with Vivian in the woods that night, but went home after their meeting and did not step out of his cabin for days. When he left her, Vivian was still alive. When asked why he met with Vivian, Scott's answer was that they discussed about personal matters, and it was only between the two of them. Scott denied further questioning, stating only that he had nothing to do with Vivian's murder, that whoever killed Vivian must have committed the crime after he had left. As to why Scott was at his cabin for days after Vivian was killed, Scott explained that he did not even know that Vivian had been murdered. Staying at the cabin is just something he's always done, that he feels at ease while at home. Scott is currently detained in the county jail. No bail has been set for his release at this point. I visited Scott today. I couldn't believe what he said. How could Sophia be dead? How could Andrew, Henry, and Vivian have killed her? Did Dorothy know? How about Wanda or Charles? Did they know? Why didn't anyone tell me? That's interesting information. I visited Sophia's grave today. It was just a wooden cross that Scott made. There was no name on it. I placed some flowers in front of it. She always had a liking for flowers. Oh, so that cross is her grave. Okay. We had a mass today. Vivian and Henry were there. Andrew, as usual, didn't come. All I can think of whenever I look at them is whether they actually killed Sophia or not. As they praised the Lord throughout the sermon, I felt sick to my stomach. I couldn't bear to see their faces. What should I do now? I know I should forgive them, but it's so difficult. I'm dying inside. I wish I never visited Scott. I wish I never heard what he said. I wish I could just forget everything. I need to talk to Andrew. I need him to confess. Shouldn't you go to the police? Yeah, I don't know what that's a key to. I return the tools back to the storage room. Oh, okay. So that's the key to the storage room. Photo of Matthew and Scott. Aw, so sweet. Any dates on it? Anything? No. Is this the storage room? Nope, that is not the storage room. Let's meet at our secret hideout. At 5 p.m., code changed to 8831. Let's write that down. That I don't have written down. Where'd my pin go? Oh. Secret hideout code 31. Okay. Got that. Mr. Peterson passed away at the age of 81. Everyone attended his funeral today. He was buried next to Mrs. Peterson. The population of Painscreek is decreasing. Old people are dying and young people aren't coming back after college. Will I stay in Painscreek till I'm old, and will I die like Mr. Peterson? Will there be anyone left at that point? Trisha talks a lot to me recently. I feel comfortable whenever she's around, and I can be myself in front of her. She makes me happy. Father Matthew tells me that it's important to have life goals. I wonder what life goal I should have. I wonder what Father Matthew's goal is. It's been a few months since Derek got hired by Trisha's dad to be the mansion driver. He gets to travel around the world now. I envy him. I want to work too, so that I can buy something nice for Trisha. There's a secret room in the mansion. I can't believe it. I can't wait till Saturday to explore it with Trisha. A secret room in the mansion. Anything on this ball? Anything important? Nope. Bow, bow. Ooh, I turned the light on. Burr, 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 burr. Here we go, storage. Yes, now we can get into cars. Scott's things. Is there not a key somewhere for Scott's things? There appears to not be a key for Scott's things. That's fine. Okay. Doesn't seem to be anything in here. Anything in the glove box? Can I use the key? No. Don't seem to be anything in any of these cars, honestly. to P.I. Steve Moss. I came across your name through a close friend of mine. She highly recommended you, saying you are a person of integrity and very reliable investigator. So I would like for you to investigate the case, which happened in 1995 in a town called Painscreek, of a murder of a Vivian Roberts. I was there when it happened. The body had been placed in front of the mansion gate for everyone to see. A few days later, Scott Brooks was apprehended as a suspect. However, there wasn't enough evidence and he was soon released. 18 months later, the police filed Vivian's case as unsolved. I've tried to forget everything, but I just can't. I simply want to know the truth. I have enclosed a copy of the threat letter that Vivian received the day she died. I hope it helps. For safety purposes, I would like to remain anonymous. At this time, I will give you the first payment in good faith that you will agree to my offer. When the case is solved, I will pass you the rest of the payment. I know what you did. Meet me by the well at midnight. You know which one. Come alone. The investigation progress is slow. I've tried to reach people, but many of them have left Painscreek, and those who still remain are starting to move out. I found some evidence showing that things aren't what they seem. The media didn't have it right. I need to interview some people who worked at the mansion. I've been too weary and haven't reached out yet. Matthew seems to be Scott's legal parent. Still won't talk to him yet. I'll have to visit St. Patrick's Orphanage tomorrow. It's a day's drive from here. I know Scott found something there. There's something not quite right with all this. Vivian married Charles in 1971. After the marriage, she became vice president of the Roberts Mining Company. It went into a slump after the mining incident in 73. But her resilience to not give up led her to rebuilding the company from the ground up. She supported local businesses such as Painscreek Community Hospital to revitalize the small village. Looks like she was publicly very active. Too active? She was taken to Painscreek Community Hospital for an emergency operation in 1974. Tricia was born just before that. Vivian was hospitalized for a few months. She was reliant on Dr. Henry Johnson during that period. Security room. Oh, I need that. Let us jot that down. Zero 2 5 2 4 1. Okay. Come on. Secret lies with her. Private investigator, PI, union license, Stephen Moss. Alright. Bloody handprint. Whoa. My head hurts, my tire's flat, and the phone's not working. Is someone trying to stop me from leaving Painscreek? Am I close to discovering something? Oh God, I thought he was the one. I was wrong. He's not the killer. He's not. Who's not? What's going on? Okay. Should we go back by the well? I'm gonna go back by the well. Well, it's the only well I know of. And that is by the cabin. something around here? Hello, welcome to the stream. We got quite a lot accomplished. We found some interesting evidence. We got some car doors open. I'm thinking the priest killed her. My theory right now is that the priest killed her. I'm probably wrong, but that's my hypothesis at the moment. If we just move these boxes, we can get into whatever this room is. Come on, man. Lift with your knees. We gotta find a way in Scott's cabin. I think. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we've eventually gotta find a way into Scott's cabin. And we gotta find a way to unlock this. We need a key. Well, guess I'm not missing anything. At least not at the moment. I'm sure I'll have to come back here for something. But right now... Okay. I have a code for a secret hideout and a code for a security room in the mansion. I don't even know where the mansion is. I mean, how can you miss a mansion? I still need to fix the electricity in the hospital. Alright, let's go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Turn on all the lights. Waste all the electricity. We read that. I don't think. If you're wondering what I'm looking for, which I'm sure you are, while I was looking up codes to lockers and cabinets and what have you, safes, I briefly ran across something about a switch, a hidden switch that connected the inn to the church. I could have read it wrong because I wasn't really looking for a walkthrough. I just wanted some codes to help me get through the game a little bit better. I didn't want a complete walkthrough, but I did see that. But I might have, since I only briefly glanced at it, I might have saw wrong. Because all the switches I see actually do something. They turn the light on and off. Are you a switch? Are you secretly a switch? No, it's not a book. Although I don't really know. Anything in the playground that I'm overlooking? Because I haven't really checked the playground out. I just kind of ran through it. No alcohol, no drugs, no smoking, no weapons. Gotcha. Does he hide his key anywhere? It's what we did when we were kids. Okay, he doesn't hide his key anywhere. What? I feel like I'm missing something in here. Click, click. we're going to stop here for the night. Because I am just not sure where else to take this. And need a little breaky break. But we made some progress. I am betting it's the priest. That's what I got my money on. They killed Sophia. He kills them. Or her. Well, no, because she wasn't the only killing. There was like a serial killer. So I think this priest has been going around murdering people. And then he lets it be pinned on his son. Who's going to suspect the priest? Anyway, that's just what I think right now. Oh, I thought I saw a switch. I was just saying things. Thank you for watching me play this episode of Painscreek Killings. Join me for more when I come back to this game and when I play other spooky games. Bye, guys.